What's good, y'all? It's your boy Big E, aka Den B, and we're gonna do things a little different today. What I'm gonna do is I'm making a video about Madden's graphical settings, and we want to do a perspective-based video today. And I want to try to capture me playing the game from this perspective, because sometimes I feel that videos don't really do things justice when you're recording. Sometimes you don't capture a decent perspective on the video. So what I want to do is I'm going to set the camera up in a still position, and I'm going to try to capture the gameplay like this right here. What you're watching me play on, that is a 34-inch ultra wide Alienware monitor, and I'll leave the links down in the description. All right, here's the default settings. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to run the game with these default settings and show you the problems that I was running into, and then we'll make the changes, and then I'll show you how the game runs after that. And I'm not going to run this for long, but I just want to run it long enough for you to see how bad it runs when you have it set at the default settings. Already at default, I don't know if you can see that, I see a little jitter. Like the game is a little choppy. So you see the screen tearing. It doesn't play bad, it just looks pretty choppy and bad. There's like some judder. It's not smooth at all to me. So I'll run one play, and then I'll shut it off, and then I'll go make the changes. Then we'll come back and go into that Thursday night game against the Eagles. I'm a Cowboys fan, so. Whoa. One good play, whether it's short or long. Oh, okay, that's good enough. So we're gonna shut it off, and we'll be right back. Okay, before we go into graphic settings, there's something I want to touch on. So the audio settings in Madden by default are kind of overpowering. Like, you hear everything. The mix in the game is kind of like it's all mushed up. So broadcast music at 90, cinematic dialogue at 85, cinematic music at 90, crowd noise at 95, commentary at 97 because I wanted to be a little bit over the crowd. Sound effects 75, and I don't have a specific rhyme or reason as to why I went with these specific numbers. You can play around with some numbers, but this is just what sounded good to me. So the off the field sound effects is at 83, and that has to do with a lot of like the coaching, the coaches talking, the hits, the footsteps, and all of that good jazz. So with this, it sounds really good to me. It gives the game a little bit more depth, especially with headphones. Now we're back in the settings. We're going to go ahead and make those changes, and then we're going to roll it to some gameplay. So let's go ahead, and we're going to make this, hang on, borderless window, 60 frames a second. We're going to lock it. We're gonna turn on VSync because I got the screen tearing. We're gonna leave HDR on auto detect. We're going custom. We're going grass always on, just because I want the game to look as good as possible. And we're gonna leave that on ultra. We're gonna turn off ambient occlusion, but we're gonna also turn this down to ground truth. I don't know exactly what ground truth means. You can research it to see what it that actually is, but this makes my game run the best. So I turn it off and then I set this to ground truth. I don't even know if that's actually doing anything, but that's just the way that I got it, and it runs the best for me doing it this way. Lens flares, we're gonna leave those on auto. We're gonna turn bloom to always off because I don't like bloom being on. We're gonna leave depth of field off. We're going ultra on the mesh. We're gonna leave textures on high. I don't really care too much about shadows, so we'll cut those down to medium. Crowd quality, we'll cut that down to medium, just because I don't really care too much about what the crowd looks like. And I think medium is still good for as good as the crowd looks in this game this year. So then we go down to VFX. We're gonna leave that on ultra and then make sure that motion blur is turned off. Okay, so we're gonna leave that and then we're gonna roll into the game and see what that looks like.